If I didn't have my disability, I wouldn't be here. Let's not kid each other. The reason why I actually got to a point where my cut points can actually speak on my behalf is because of Maurice. Because Maurice, he's low vision, severely.
Yeah.
That guy removes his glasses and he's as blind as they come. But
as blind as a bat.
Yes, blind as a bat. A friend recommended me for Enable, and our executive director at the time was looking for a lawyer who has a disability, and this always hurts me. She was looking for a lady.
Test that. Hi guys, it's man, I feel like it's been a minute.
It's been a minute. It's only that our last episode we recorded it a week earlier.
Oh yeah, that's why. But hi, we hope you're good. My name is Charlene.
Yeah.
Like Charlene Druto.
No, I like that.
It's an honor to be called Charlene.
Yeah.
And we're happy to be here. Conversations around autism zimeisha. I'll let our guest introduce himself and then you'll go last. Over to you.
Oh, over to me. Oh,
Yeah.
Roger that. over. Yeah, so my name is Julius Mbura, a.k.a. Julio Supercharge.
Yeah.
And some Kenyans, I still go with it. They call me Julio. Still go with it, you know. But yeah, happy to be here. We've done this. I think we did a podcast during the Inclusive Africa.
Yeah, last edition.
Last edition, last year. And I'm what? I'm many things, ranging from a lawyer to a daredevil. Yeah, and everything in between.
And
so
that intro has not changed.
It's not changed. Yeah. It's actually getting interesting every other time.
Okay.
And sometimes I just marvel at things that I get myself into. The other day I was having a conversation with a friend of mine because we had planned paragliding, and because of the weather we couldn't. So now we are pushing it forward, and she was telling me, you know, you're one crazy blind guy. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Yeah. So yeah, big car enthusiast, review cars by touch and feel. Work for an amazing organization called Enable. We empower persons with disabilities through assistive technology, digital accessibility. I'm the advocacy officer, head of legal and head of computer assistive technology. But also I'm in the realm of empowering youth with disabilities, especially the young ones from the foundational level. So mentoring them, you know, tapping into their potential. And if we can have, you know, crazy other blind guys and persons with disabilities just going after what they're passionate about, you know, be it, you know, skydiving and all, you know, it's in my bucket list. So coming out of
do you have some white in you? Because that sounds like some white stuff.
You'd say that like things I do are more white, but
now
black
imagine,
as they come.
Imagine a person with albinism asking you, do it white.
No, I like that.
White
like
people stuff, yeah?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. You know, you could pass for a white.
Exactly. And actually, okay, I know we're going to rev about this over and over again. I was in my escapades when I was in the States, and we were having this meeting, and some guys were like, after we had the meeting, the guys were like, come again, you said you have a disability? What you talking about? I was like, yeah. That's how it is where we come from. The intro, Emesha?
You know, it can never be over, but for now, let's stick with that.
Let's keep it at that. Yeah. Karibuni sana. Mine is Alan Hubbard. Today we don't have the drum rolls because Shalina meamua I go last. Yeah. These are drum rolls because nafaa kuwa zako. Now we bring in the guest. Lakini Shalina amesema save the best for last. So it is going to be an interesting conversation. Shalina, umesikia Mbura amesema vitu mingi. Hii story tuanzie wapi?
I was interested in the lawyer part. I don't know why.
It's very funny that I actually forget that I'm a lawyer. Sometimes I just go with it and people are like, and then I'm like, oh, I'm a lawyer too. And they're like, wow, can we start with that? Yeah.
Are you an advocate?
I am, but I don't practice. Yeah, I do. I decided to get in the advocacy line. Yeah, because everyone can do litigation.
Yeah.
But I wanted to really make a difference in the disability space.
Yeah.
By focusing on policy work and things that are pertinent to persons with disabilities.
Yeah.
And the only way I could do that was through a non-profit NGO, and I'm lucky I found Enable. And it's actually a full circle, so it's sort of like a story, because I interacted with Enable when I was in school. They exposed me to the digital world, accessibility and assistive technology. And here I am working for them.
So basically you're a story of impact.
Yeah, I'm a walking billboard. You can call it that. Walking billboard for Enable.
Yeah. Talking about school, do you know a guy called Maurice Kinywa?
Maurice is a good friend, man. Like, the reason why I've done law is because of Maurice.
Give us the story, because I have a lot of things to check with you about things that he said about you. So give us the backstory. Man, we also had him on the set, yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like Maurice, we go way back, and the reason why I did, not the reason why I did law, but the reason why I actually got to a point where my cut points can actually speak on my behalf is because of Maurice. Because Maurice, he's low vision, severely.
Yeah.
That guy removes his glasses and he's a blind as they come. But
as blind as a bat.
Yes, blind as a bat. So he started reading for us because we didn't have enough books in Braille.
Yeah.
So what we do, we formed a group, and the group, of course, had more blind than low vision.
Yeah.
I was severely low vision at the time, so I couldn't read print books.
Yeah.
So Maurice used to read for us, and it's very funny that even for my performances, because I got into drama club, he used to read the script for me. And I remember there's a time the script was sort of changed overnight, and I had to get that in my system by morning.
Yeah.
Like the drama club teacher came at, I think, 10 p.m. to the dormitory.
Yeah.
Here's a new script. You need to have that by morning. And it's changed from top to bottom. Maurice read for me.
Yeah.
And I think it was sort of read it the first time. He reads, you get into my system. Okay, read the second time. And now we do the third, polish. And I got it, and that was our thing. Anything print, Maurice used to read for us. We used to get out of the dormitory 2 a.m. to go do, because preps, it's crazy, and you need to do assignments and all that. So to assign time for remedios, our own revision, we used to wake up at the wee hours of the night, and he never used to mind. And because in the group you're different, and I thank God I have sort of they call it what? Eidetic memory. I can easily, cram stuff. But in the group you have people who need second, third reading. But Maurice never used to mind.
So he would do it over and over again.
Yeah, and we used to get crazy topics because we used to challenge ourselves, because by the mid of a term, we'll be done by the syllabus. So we start.
So you have to read ahead.
Yeah, we read ahead, because when you're blind, man, there are crazy things. Because in class, if you don't have the Braille book and the teacher is reading and maybe dictating notes, then you can easily lose yourself in between. But if you've read ahead of time, then it's easier for you to
You're basically checking with what the teacher is saying and what Maurice read. Kama alisoma vitu za ukweli ama za urongo.
Yeah. So actually we make fun of it that he actually made us who we are. And then sasa masomo kidogo akapiga chenga
because alituambia alifika mahali akaona tu pesa hivi akasema hapana.
Man, especially with results, Maurice would get our results, and I remember there's a time I almost got everything A.
Yeah.
And Maurice was like, "What is this now? What is this? I am the reader."
Why am I not grasping it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thank God for people like Maurice in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is Kenyatta University?
No. Thika High School for the Blind.
Ah.
Yeah. And then university, I went to Kenyatta, I went to University of Nairobi.
Ah.
Yeah.
How
but
do
my
you-
foundation,
Yeah.
all thanks to Morris, man.
Mm.
Like knock up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlene, you know Morris. You seem to be amazed. You're like, I did not know that part of Morris.
But I do have a question. So how then do you proceed to survive in law school? Because it's not a joke.
It's not a joke. Whoa.
And there is no Morris.
And there's no Morris.
Yeah.
Now it's depend. And let me tell you, campus gave me character development. Wait.
You saw dust.
Hey, because this is where you actually realize you have to deal with stigma, discrimination, insensitive comments,
Mm.
pity, sympathy, all of that firsthand.
Yeah.
Because, primary, high school, school for the blind.
Mm.
So 80-90% of guys you're with,
Yeah.
they're actually going through what you're going through.
Mm.
So they cannot even sympathize with you. They cannot give you pity. If they're being insensitive, it's because they're also going through the same sort of hurdles.
Mm.
So it's actually like making fun.
Yeah, it's
you
dark
know.
humor.
Dark humor, yeah. But in campus, in a class of 300 students, I'm the only student, not only blind, but with any kind of disability. So you can imagine that. So having to deal with my self-esteem, this is where now I had to sort of like, deal with it firsthand.
Mm.
And sense of belief and all these things that make up a person. Then you start realizing, wow, then I need to really be comfortable with myself
Mm.
before I step out here. And I'd say I made it through because of power of assistive technology, screen readers,
Mm.
because now I was using a laptop with a screen reader, NVDA,
Yeah.
and that's how I survived law school. And even going to Kenya School of Law, same sort of, and having good friends as well,
Mm.
because you won't have everything in soft copy material.
Mm.
Yeah, I had really good friends.
Was it hard to make those friends?
Man, like I think I'm fortunate enough in life to get like good people, attracting like good-hearted people.
Mm.
Because in campus, I'd say there was another Morris. His name is Noor,
Yeah.
Abdi Noor,
Mm.
and we actually met on the first day of classes,
Mm.
and he got fascinated how I was reading Braille. I didn't have my laptop at that time, so Abdi Noor with a couple other friends that stuck with me throughout my campus life, we actually met during the orientation period.
Mm.
And from there, it was easy. Like they could see me getting into school and, yay.
Where you headed?
Yeah, and I like how like my circle of friends, they've never made it as if they're like sympathizing or trying to handle me as if I'm fragile.
Yeah.
They normally ask me first,
Mm.
and I've gotten them to a place where they're comfortable now. They can even like anticipate
Mm.
what would be inappropriate, what would be appropriate. But I would say it wasn't hard to make friends.
Julius, there are people who will probably come across you for the first time on a platform, and you've talked about losing your vision twice. Can you take us through the journey of losing your vision and all?
It's a long journey. It's a long journey, but I'll just give highlights.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was born sighted. Then at the age of 10, and actually prior to that, I started having difficulties reading, focusing, and having sort of like depth in like perception. And I didn't know what was happening. Actually, some of my family members started noticing the way I was looking at people. My eyes became squintier. I started losing focus on especially central vision. But at the age of 10, I lost my sight. But prior to that, I was taken to all these big hospitals for eye
Checkups and all.
yeah. Kikuya unit was the biggest. They didn't see the problem, and the problem is they were looking at the eye itself. My condition is at the back of the eye. That is why it affects. And that's why people look at me and they're like, we unaona wewe. Because like the outer part of the eye is completely, like fully intact. And I can actually donate outer parts of my eye. I can donate my cornea because it's not been affected. And so lost my sight.
Completely at 10.
Yeah, completely. I was taken to Thika Primary School for the Blind. Started regaining it after a year and a half. It got to a place where I could like read and write with a pen. But again, it started...
So literally, this is a dark joke. So literally, you are the one-eyed man in a group of blind people.
Exactly. You know what it is. And we had a couple of that.
Yeah.
And actually, if you went to Thika, I don't know if that sort of culture died off. You'd get like someone who's low vision guiding the rest. We used to call it a human train.
Yeah.
So you'd have one who's seeing a little. It could be like even like to their nose.
Light, yeah.
But wewe sasa ndio unaona.
Ndio gwiji.
Wewe sasa ndio kusema. And then you get the rest. And you find like this boy or girl has like other 5 individuals behind him or her to guide them. Akigonga ukuta, mnagonga nyote. Yeah. Akiingia kwa ditch, the human train goes down the ditch. So yeah, it was a roller coaster because I got my sight back. I was severely low vision. Then it started going down again. I was prescribed for glasses. Started reading with the big magnifying lenses for the geeks. Heavy on my face, but we had to push regardless. Then sort of like started losing it again. So high school did pure braille to preserve that little sight. I could see like 1 meter. And then getting into campus, that's how I embraced assistive technology, digital accessibility. And I could see still, but before campus, I got like extensive review, and doctors told me, it might go again. Just know that. And that has shaped me to be the man I am, and actually gave me an opportunity to like explore and maximize on the little sight I had to actually break barriers. And that's how I started, getting in touch with all my passions, because I was like, since I can see 1 meter, I need to immerse myself in this realm of in between, because when you're low vision, you're in between. There's the sighted world and the blind universe. And that's how I started now, like watching movies, driving, riding motorbikes, skating, everything crazy. And it was a matter of just giving myself a vantage point when it happens, preparing myself for the inevitable. Even for directions, like I'd get into CBD with very thick, dark glasses, the shades, and I'd hit people, but still walk with my white cane to sort of like simulate how that would be if I lose my sight, because we didn't know when or how it would manifest. And voila, 2019, KPLC. Blackout.
Yeah. I wanted to go into that aspect of professionalism. Umemaliza kampuni nini, tamaking. There is this feeling that wase tuko na disability hatupatagi kazi nini. How was that for you, and how now do you link with Enable?
Okay. So I don't like, I don't feel their pain when they say
I would relate.
It's because I can't relate. Because what happened is, when I finished KSL, you normally do pupillage after KSL.
Yeah.
So you're attached to a law firm. So I got this really amazing law firm. It's called Letangule Advocacy. And after pupillage, they sort of like retain me. They're holding over. And that is where now you sort of like decide if you want to do litigation. But I wasn't keen on litigation because my heart was on advocacy. Then sort of like stars aligned. And that's how like a friend recommended me for Enable. And our executive director at the time was looking for a lawyer who has a disability. And this always hurts me. She was looking for a lady. So this guy, he's called Wilson. He's a lawyer, by the way. He's an advocate. And he was working somewhere else. And he was like, I can't commit right now. But I have a guy. This guy is
this is the guy for the job.
Yeah, he's the guy for what you need.
It's in him.
Don't even look for someone else. And it took like a month and a half for our executive director to actually reach out. But I also thank God because that's how I got in Enable through that recommendation. And been with Enable for 3 years now. Yeah.
Take us through the journey now. 1.5 months, they have reached out. You go into the company. And you at the beginning you said you are literally a walking billboard for the organization.
Yeah, it was sort of like a full circle, like a dream come true.
Yeah.
Because getting into campus, I was very intentional. I wanted to do law, to get into advocacy, and push for policies and the gaps that I was noticing. Because even doing law, it was out of necessity. Because the job sort of the health system, they sort of like gave me special education. I was like, I'm not passionate about education. Other people can do education. My heart was in film and theater technology. I couldn't do that because I was going blind.
And that's what Morris did.
Yes. And now, this back and forth of I want to do law, I want an interfaculty transfer, an inter-university transfer, because I didn't want to get into KU. Personal reasons.
Yeah.
What was your dream campus?
UN. Yeah. No, my thing is, KU is it's super amazing and fantastic when it comes to disability.
Mainstreaming.
They've been on the forefront. But again, for me, there's something that didn't sit right by me. The fact that you'd have persons with disabilities in one corner, even accommodation-wise. It's sort of like,
you
to
are
me,
secluded within inclusion.
Yes, that's the thing. So I wanted to do law, specifically University of Nairobi. Getting into Enable, I actually felt at home because this is a non-profit that deals with disability matters, and to be more specific, assistive technology for the blind, because we have computer labs in schools for the blind. One of the schools, the Pioneer School, a school, Thika Primary School for the blind. That is where I went through school.
Yeah.
And actually just getting into the organization like this, I had an idea of doing mentorship to these young boys and girls to actually show them that it's doable.
Yeah.
And showing them through an example of what I've been able to achieve so far. And I mean, like, I love my job because I do what I preach. And I preach what I do. So it's that balance of, and also like the fact that I have the background for law, and the other, not the previous conference, the other one, 2022. We launched the first ever ICT accessibility standard.
I think that was my first ever to attend.
Yeah. That was the first one to attend. This was this is the policy for standards for digital ICT accessibility. You know, and now we want to mainstream it for the whole of Africa, because there is no point South Africa to come up with a new standard for accessibility. Namibia, Congo, whatever, you know,
when it's already existing.
How about we just harmonize this standard we have and actually implement it for the whole of Africa? Because we adopted this from the EN 301-549, which is an European standard on accessibility. And let's not kid ourselves.
They know what they are doing.
Far advanced when it comes to technology, you know. And they marketed this standard according to hardware, software, built environment, you know, all these things. Why would you just crack your heads trying to come up with a new standard? We just took it
and adapted it to
customized to our needs as Kenya, and that reflects to the whole of Africa, because what we are going through here in Kenya, same thing in Rwanda, Zimbabwe, Botswana, South Africa. I don't know why I keep on saying South Africa.
You ain't your Zulu wife. Oh, continue.
Prospects, prospects. Hala. So when you look at it, I sort of like I'm in the best space because Enable advocates for disability inclusion using digital accessibility and going over and above to now encompass other disabilities, because now we talk about the Inclusive Africa Conference.
Yeah.
Even from the wording itself, it's Inclusive Africa. We are bringing 20 different African countries
Together
on the same table
to
talk about, and now we are even expanding beyond the techie world. We're now talking about mental health, GBV in disability, education, pertinent issues in the disability world, and also bringing disabilities that are undermined within the disability realm. Things like the disabilities like vitiligo, stammering, So when we look at disability in wholesome, then you start now unpacking these different pockets that actually drive change and actually now bring an inclusive society all in all.
Tell us a bit of what happened in the 2023 edition, and somebody who came for the 2023 edition and they're expecting to come for this edition, what different things are
Let me start from the beginning. We started the Inclusive Africa Conference 2020 in the midst of COVID-19. That was fully virtual. Then we had the edition that I didn't actually, it's a crazy story because I didn't attend that one. And reason being, we were working on the policy, the ICT accessibility standard in Naivasha when it was happening. It was, biggest portion of it was virtual because we were transiting from the one for 2020. So the aspect of in-person was limited. And it was amazing because I remember we even did recordings for the conference, really amazing. So we had more attendees online than in person. That was 2021. And that gave me an idea of how the conference is done. But what came now full-blown in person and bringing even African countries into the country for the 3 days and beyond Africa, because we have sponsors like Google, Microsoft, Meta, Mastercard Foundation, all these good foundations that work with us. And having to bring these teams, different pockets, like Google having to have 5-10 representatives. That was amazing. I mean, you attended.
I attended.
And that was in Trademark. And that was the first full-blown in-person with a portion of virtual, because of course you have the watch parties in different countries. And really amazing, because now you're having round tables, fireside chats, all different thought leaders in the same space.
And I think that's the time that I think if it's not the US Embassy, they brought in
Girma. Yes, that was 2022. And 2023 was a really amazing edition because this is where now we brought innovators. And we had the first assistive technology village. Assistive Technology Innovations Village. And now we had to bring innovators from these different countries to showcase their innovations and actually even interact with venture capitalists, experts in the space, angel investors.
Angel investors,
And also interact with the beneficiaries on the ground. People who are using these technologies first, and to actually give them feedback on what they think about the technologies and innovations and different solutions that they're coming up with, because you cannot work in silos. I think that was the highlight of 2023. We also introduced the first Icon Award, which is to celebrate persons with disabilities who are using assistive technology in an impactful way to drive for change in their different societies. And it was a very amazing lady from Nigeria called Anifat. She has cerebral palsy. I think you met with her.
I met with her and we had a conversation.
So this edition, 2024.
Bigger and better.
Did
we have a prize money for the best innovation last year?
We did.
$10,000
USD.
Oh my goodness.
And that was an African innovation. A Kenyan innovation.
A Kenyan innovation?
It's called Kochi. Disability Innovation Suits. They are based in KU.
Okay.
Brilliant man called Kenneth and Dr. Mbogwa.
Dr. Mbogwa. I've interacted with Dr. Mbogwa.
Director of
Disability Resource Center at KU.
Yes.
Interesting. So 2024.
2024, we are bringing other issues and challenges like mental health, GBV, creative. we have a creative session where persons with disabilities who have talent will get in on a round table and discuss, how is it that you have a disability, you've made it in the creative world. How do you balance? How do you do this? How do you make a profitable model for your talent and skill set? So 2024 has that aspect. We still have assistive innovation village.
The village is happening again.
AT village.
Yeah.
And we also have international exhibitions and even local for products and services that are geared towards assistive technology and persons with disabilities.
What do I have to do to be at the conference?
All you have to do is register at the conference website. That is www.inclusiveafrica.org and actually get your ticket. And it's only $300. Yes, you can register at the conference website and also attend in person. It will be at Radisson Blue from the 14th to the 16th, Pale Upper Hill. So come on, come all, because this is the conference to be at. When you talk about inclusivity, talk about disability inclusion, digital accessibility, assistive technology, all these facets of inclusion in the society, this is the place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Test that.